Let's talk about some of the apps that we use. Do you use the Gmail app, Mike?
I've tried it, and I like the notifications, but I do also have Yahoo, MacMail, and Hotmail accounts. So I end up going into mail a fair amount. The other problem, my main problem though, is that it launches its own web browser, which doesn't have any of my stored information, and I don't feel like dealing with it, and it's inherently slower than Safari. So, I mean,
I use the regular mail app.
I use the regular mail app too. I feed everything into it, but I will say that on my computer, I use the Gmail. I don't use the regular mail app on there. And
you
the
like
reason
being in the
it,
browser a lot more than I do.
I like being in the browser a lot more than you do. And my thing is, I can feed like all of those other accounts that you were talking about. I have them all feed into my Gmail account. And
you also write posts
I do
in the browser,
I
and
do.
I won't
And
do
you
that.
don't do that.
I've lost
And
too much
See,
information.
I'm more like
Too.
I'll do the same. I'll do the browser. And
Okay, but like on
here
this,
I'll do
you use the
Blogsy. On a
Blogsy app.
computer, I'll use the browser.
Right, and see, even on here, whenever I'm editing other people's articles,
Oh, I do that in the browser because
I do it in the browser. But I tend to write in just the text, in the note app. So go figure.
Which what I'm doing if I'm talking to somebody or something like that and doing an interview, I just go right to the note app because that's
Exactly.
the easiest way to just quickly.
It's funny to hear we're that similar about this.
Let's just do a quick run through some of the key apps that we use because we're all using the iPad as a productivity tool. Anyone?
Well, I use Mail, web browser. I use a VPN, get into work stuff, some work apps as well. A lot of Office things, plenty of games, and
That was
music apps as well. The other thing that I do use that I forgot about that I really use a lot now is the camera.
Because it's not crap.
Yeah. So if you had asked me when I first got the original iPad, would I want a camera? No. But now I use it a ton.
How many of us make fun of people that were taking pictures with their iPads, but now that we all have iPad 3s?
I was going to say, it's like, what kind of dork is going to use that? It's like me.
The only thing I don't like, though, is if you're at like an event for kids or anything where there's an audience.
Right.
Exactly. Oh, let me get this. Yeah.
We were in Greece last year, and we saw a guy using an iPad 2 to take pictures, and we were, I'll admit it, we were like, why is he doing that?
Right.
And kind of made fun of him. Not like really maliciously, but we were just like, why take all of your vacation photos that you want to have as memories with such a crappy camera? Now, if I saw somebody doing it, I'd just assume they were on iPad 3, and I figured those pictures are probably going to be pretty good.
Well,
because it's an excellent camera.
And it's more than that for me. It's not just the fact that it's a good camera. You can actually edit and share
Right.
immediately. So,
Right.
and quite frankly, editing photos is something that I would almost rather do on the iPad than on the computer at this point.
Agreed.
There are apps that are so simple, that are so powerful, and they're quick, and you can just do it, be done with it, and move forward.
Photos are easier to manipulate on here.
Much. Especially when, there are people who are really good with Photoshop. I'm not one of them. So some of the one-trick pony apps, there's an app that'll pull elements out of a picture, and it takes 5 seconds. It's just so easy. Remember that Bento 4 is actually really good. We wrote about it. I use it quite a bit. Type on PDF lets you actually edit PDFs on the iPad. I never thought that I would actually sign an iPad for a document, and I do now. What do you use to write when you're writing a post or writing a letter or something?
I'll either use something like one of the Office apps, like Documents to Go or Office 2 HD, or for posts, a lot of times I'll just use the WordPress app.
Me, I'll use the Notes app, or just the one that comes on the iPad, mind you. And if I'm writing a letter or something like that, well, if it's an email, obviously I'm doing it in Mail. But
I use Blogsy to do a lot of my post writing.
I do too.
And I'll use the Mail app for emails. I won't compose in any other window. I'll just compose right in the Mail app. And I will also use the Notes app to take simple notes. I also have Pages just for those times that I want to quickly use a word processor because I don't need anything that powerful. It's for I need to edit a Word document quickly. I looked at it and I kind of thought, you know what? I'd rather just use Pages. It's simple. It's made for the iPad and it seems to work fine.
See, and I've used Pages, but it doesn't. It's not simplistic and stripped down enough to be quick, and it's not complex and powerful enough to be really useful. So I usually either use the Notes app or I use IA Writer or Elements. They give you very minimal formatting, but they give you enough. And yes, it's actually raining up here in the Poconos right now. It's really beautiful. The other app that came out that got updated, it's really cool, is Scanner Pro. A lot of times now people say, do you want me to make a photocopy of this for you? And I'll say, oh no, hang on a second. click, edit, I'm done. So it's a great little app. It's a great little app. And we haven't talked about the voice recognition. Do you use it?
I don't use it on the iPad, but going back to the apps for a second, I also almost forgot. I actually filed my taxes and TurboTax on the iPad.
Nice.
Really?
It was incredibly easy. Our taxes aren't that complicated.
How's your rebate?
It was
Never
good.
I forgot.
It was actually really easy and a lot simpler, and it cost the same in the end as it did to use it on the computer or something like that.